Welcome back to Gemini Gamer. So, a big surprise came out today. Well, actually yesterday for me, but I didn't have time to make the video yesterday because it was such a big deal. I, didn't have time. People were over and stuff like that. I wasn't planning for it, so I got maybe a little bit screwed over by that. And also, I had no idea. Like, I completely had no idea. Even though I make the KSP News show, I completely had no idea that there was going to be any sort of update this week. I was expecting the only update to come out next week and maybe a couple updates fixing bugs after that for the DLC and the maybe the 1.4 update later on. But we actually got the 1.4 update earlier on than expected. There was no news. I did not know about it, not in the KSP dev blog at least, as far as I know. And it was a complete big surprise. So I'm pretty sure you guys were surprised too. Randomly, just an update came out. And, they called it the Away with Words Mark II update, the 1.4 update, which originally actually is basically what they promised the 1.3 update to be originally before. Like, the update told us they were going to update parts, they told us all that stuff. Still not the complete version though, because they clearly divided it, they clearly split things up. They did the DLC thing, which is coming out next week on March the 13th. But for now, we got this. This is free. A completely free update, and as long as it's free, I don't mind updates, right? I'm pretty sure this broke a lot of mods and stuff like that, so big warning for the modders out there. Don't try to update your mods unless there's like a really easy fix for it, do it if it's an easy fix. But don't try to completely fix everything because there's going to be an update next week for the DLC. And that's probably going to break even more stuff. If this broke something, that other thing is going to break a crap ton of more stuff, so don't worry too much about it. I think the people can wait, and if you don't want to update to this mod, update version of the game, then you can just go back to the old one and get your, basically all that stuff taken care of if you want to mods and stuff like that. This also means the video I was working on with the mod review and stuff like that, the top 5. It was a top 5 list for graphical mods and stuff like that. I wanted to make it, but clearly that's not going to be happening now because of the whole update thing, and that probably broke a bunch of stuff, and I'm gonna wait till everything else updates to make sure everything's up to date when I release the video. So I had a little bit of footage, but nothing to worry about in terms of lost progress and stuff like that. I didn't work too much on it, but I was developing it as we went. But the update canceled that, and now we've got other stuff to worry about. So let's go ahead and get into a game here that I made earlier and show you everything that's pretty much new. There's a bunch of new stuff, mostly features, not really like in content wise. There's no new planets or anything like that if you're wondering. There might be an extra Easter egg somewhere in the world, I don't know, they didn't mention it. But yeah, so everything here is pretty much the same, no changes. Big change though that I will mention right now, they did update the game into a new engine, so you might see a little bit of an improvement boost, not much. It wasn't as big of an improvement boost, since the last update when they kind of went to a new Unity engine. They just went into a new version of the current one, I think. That's probably what they did. I'm not too into all that right now, but I'm pretty sure they did went into a new version of it. So there might be a little bit of improvement boost, but the biggest thing of all, the particles look a lot better, and I'll show you that in a little bit here. So first things first, the biggest thing that you probably want to see is the parachute. So let's go get into that. There's a parachute now. So let's see. What craft am I gonna? I'm just gonna use one of these. The dove is good. Yeah, this is fine. Oh, I kind of edited it. I was playing around a little bit with that. So, similar parts. However, another thing, we did get new engine noises. I'll go over that too in a little bit. I'll test most of the engines, so don't worry about that. Let's go ahead and launch this baby and show you and all the features that come with it. It's not just a parachute. It's not just like, you just don't deploy a parachute. You get a controllable Kerbal falling down in an atmosphere. Before, you could only use your little jets, but now you get a whole parachute that you can control, like pilot all the way down. So as you can hear, I'm gonna make sure you can hear this in the game. The engine noises are all different, especially this one. This one is really nice sounding. It sounds cool. I'm actually pretty happy with it. So yeah, engine noise is completely different. Let's see, anything in here that changed? Nah, everything just looks a little bit sharper. I don't know what it is. It just looks a little bit sharper. Maybe it's the new graphics card I got earlier on, but everything just looks a lot nicer, a lot sharper. I don't really know what it is, but everything looks really good, surprisingly. And I was playing with graphical mods, and you know that really makes everything look pretty good. So go ahead and toggle mode a bit and use speed boost to make sure we go up really high for this thing to be actually a good thing. Because I also want to show you the RCS on the Kerbals backpack, because that also changed a little bit. I'm gonna make sure you can see that. So even the particles was a big thing with the update. That was the main thing. The particles are gonna look a little bit better. Not in this one in particular, but in the other engines, it looks a tiny bit better. There was a couple major improvements, minor improvements. I mean, not the biggest deal, but very cool stuff on that, at least. So I think at this point we're high enough that we can EVA our Kerbal, and at this point it ain't gonna be a suicidal jump. It's mostly gonna be basically a controlled descent at this point. So as you can see, the jets, the little RCS thrusters on this thing, they're so high, like they're so much better looking, as you can see here. Like I don't know if they were like this, but for some reason they just look really nice. Don't they look nice? Like really high def little thrusts. Very cool. I think they went back and edited the whole backpack once they did the parachute thing. So anyway, so as you can see, this is the parachute here. It's a little big thing. I don't know why they just didn't include it inside the normal pack. I guess it makes sense, right? I wonder when you go into space if this goes away, but I'll let you guys find out if that happens. Don't worry about that though. So you deploy it normally. There's no space bar or anything to deploy it. I don't think there's no key bind to the. Oh, there is. Interesting. Well, I figured that one out right now. Apparently, you press KRL. I'm not too sure. One of those two, and the parachute deploys. So it deploys like a normal parachute, as you might expect. It does the normal things. However, you don't gain any control over it until, as you can see, we're already slowing down. There goes the plane down there. You don't get any control until it actually fully deploys. So don't expect to be piloting yourself down when you're basically 4,000 meters up. But you can always just do this and it deploys, right? Very cool stuff. And there goes the plane. It crashed down there. Some pieces survived and all. But yeah, I think for explosions, it's working a little bit better. I mean, we're a little bit far to test that. But yeah, you can pilot it up. You can go down. You can go right. You can go left. Basically a small little glider. No sort of propulsion. You can't use your RCS thrusters to basically, you know, give you a little bit of energy wherever you're going, right? You can't do that. So, but yeah, it's pretty controllable. It's not the strongest parachute out there, however, so if you're not careful, you can still kill yourself with this thing. Don't worry. You can still do that. So, yeah. I mean, also, it's not the most useful thing. I mean, yeah, you do get to do a lot of maneuvers and stuff, but if you have multiple Kerbals inside your ship, it's going to be a little bit difficult to, especially if it's going down. You're going to have to EVA one, deploy the chute, EVA the other one, deploy the chute, and that's going to get a little bit hard, especially if you're going really fast. So, you know, it's not the best feature. There might be, you know, maybe later on there might be a big button like eject everybody and everyone just flies out or something like that. You know, that'd be cool with the parachute already deploying and stuff like that. So, you know, stuff like that. Cool stuff like that may be added later on in the game will be really awesome. And I think this is an update that adds a lot of stuff that you can easily update on, you know, improve on as the developers later on. Even modders can probably do it later on. So it's all cool stuff. Even and you know, the parachute is not bad. Like, look at that. Like, it's puffy, like a normal parachute. Like, it actually has puffiness to it here and, you know, everywhere. So I'm actually pretty happy with this. I think it's been an addition that we needed to the game. I know that you could do this with, you know, with other mods, but at least now we get something, right? And it's free, so you can't really complain. Maybe when the DLC comes out later on, I'll be making a review. I'm not getting any sort of press copy or anything like that. I'm gonna be buying with my own money. So don't worry too much about that, I guess. And yeah. I mean, this is going to open up a whole bunch of new things. You can parachute into Eve, you can parachute into Lathe, you can parachute into Jewel. Not that I recommend that, because you're still going to die. But, you know, it's pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. You can paradrop, you can invade, you can do little invasion, like, cinematics and stuff like that, when you're, like, a bunch of your Kerbals are falling down. Like, you know, deploy over a place that you want to, like, you know, invade. Kind of like that. Little movies like that, you know. Cool stuff, though. Cool stuff. But again, not the strongest shoot, so I may end up killing this dude. Jebediah, I think it's... Yeah, it's Jebediah. So, yeah, it's not the strongest shoot, but it's still better than what we had before, which was just using your little thrusters to try to save yourself when you were falling. You know, not the best of, propulsion for a Kerbal, but, now you got a parachute, which makes things a little bit more fun. A lot of new, probably new additions will be coming in terms of content that people are going to be making. They're going to be making, jumps from pretty much everywhere. And yeah, you fall a little bit hard, but it's a parachute. It's not a freaking life-saving thing. And again, you can repack it like that. And let's see if I can do a little jump here. Just undeploy our little RCS. And let's see. Yeah. And for some reason, it just doesn't do it. I don't know why. But yeah, he died. Anyway, but you can probably figure it out. You can jump off and stuff like that. And then deploy your chute. But for some reason, it didn't deploy there. I don't know what happened. It's a little glitchy still, I guess. I don't know. But maybe later on it's going to work better. I think it's part of the VAB hitbox. It probably extends out a little bit when the dude jumped off. He hit ground. And that breaks the chute and stuff like that. But whatever. Doesn't matter. But anyway, let's revert flight to the launch. Once you get back in here, yeah. So, as you can see, everything here looks pretty normal, right? You might think, right? Other than this part, which we'll look at in a little bit. You might think, everything here is pretty much the same. There's no new buttons, right? There's no new buttons, right? You might think that, right? No. There's a new button. And it's called the switch editor. And I think you might know what this does at this point. So, I'm going to go ahead and click it. And it transports you to the VAB. And if you're at the VAB, it transports you to the spaceplane hangar. Do you, why wasn't this in the original game? I don't know. But, wow. This all makes everything a lot simpler. The load time is so short. You don't have to exit. You don't have to exit and then click on the VAB. It's no longer annoying. And this is going to make things, testing things at least, a lot easier, Or building things a lot easier, too. Because sometimes you build planes, like space shuttles or something like that. Or just a plane in general. And you want to launch it from the space pad, from the space, launch pad over there. And you can't do it. You just can't do it because you gotta exit out, gotta do all that stuff, and then VAB, and then click here, and then you click for to SPH, and then you gotta find. And it takes a little bit of time. It's not the biggest thing. It's not the most wow, the whole game's gonna be different or something like that. Because you can still, if you want to launch it vertically, just go like this and add a little launch clamp stuff like that. But it's something. It's pretty cool. It saves time, especially if you like constructing stuff from both sides. It makes things a lot easier. So, not the biggest deal, but pretty cool nonetheless. So, now let's go ahead and look at the new parts that were added in this update for free. Again, free. So I built a little test craft, a little monstrosity thing here. So, let's see here. We got all the engines here. All the engines. We got the new tanks that you can change color. Variants, they call them. They call them the variants. There's a little button here. Whoops. On the actual part. So, let's say you wanna... You're building an orange, vehicle. You don't want white tanks, and you keep doing this where you keep on getting a tank and it's white, right? You don't want that. So what you can do is click this little symbol here. I don't know what it's supposed to represent, but it's basically a variant symbol. And again, these were the original, this one was the big orange tank, the original big infamous Kerbal orange tank, the big orange tank. You can still get the orange tank if you want to. Let's see here. Place it right there. And then deploy it here. See, you can still get that orange tank. But you can also just click the little symbol over here and you can change the variants. Want everything to be orange? You can do that. Right? You can do that. Simple stuff. You want it to go back and click it. See? Click it. Very, very cool stuff. It's been missing from the game. Again, could have been done with mods. In fact, it was done with mods. Part switcher. Not the whole thing, not to get into the whole modder versus developer speed. The modders did it there way back in the day. But at least there's something in the game. It's probably gonna be more stable now. It's just the texture though. It's not really like, oh, you can change the size or anything like that. But you know, it's something. It's something. And again, the modders will be able to improve on it. They'll be able to expand on it. They'll be able to add more textures, more part variants, more stuff to the whole thing. Make everything a little bit more better and then useful. So the Total Dial tank actually got a little retexture. I don't know how obvious it's gonna be, but it looks a little bit more high def, a little bit more, I don't know how to say it, but a little bit cooler, I think. You know, and it got a little bit rebalanced. It can fit more fuel in it now, so pretty cool stuff. Get the baguette external tank as a new part, completely new part. We also get the dumpling external tank, also new part, and we get an improved RCS tank. So here you go, big tank right there. So again, you can change it to different colors, gray and white, stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff right there. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. We also get the new MK13 command pod, not the MK12 command pod, it's the MK13 command pod. Has RCS, looks pretty cool. Reminds me of the Dragon capsule. Pretty awesome. No internals though, not yet. Don't worry about that. I'm pretty sure those are coming in soon though. And other than that, we also get let's see here, new fairings. So get new textures on fairings. As you can see, different types of textures. You get the R7 rocket texture here, like this. Very cool stuff right there. That's a really nice little fairing texture. Very, very cool, very cool. And again, you can do that with all three of them. There's three of them, you know, 3 different sizes. With the DLC, there's going to be a new size of 5 meter parts. Well, actually, 2 new sizes, the 1.735. Some number, I don't know, but you know, in between the 1.25 and 2.5 meter parts, you'll get that one and the 5 meter part. So, you know, that's with the DLC though. You're gonna have to pay money for that, $15. So, you know, not the best, but you know, whatever. At least you get this. So yeah, and again for the modders, fairings. Oh, this is new. I don't remember this being up here. It might probably was. I don't know. It's been a while, but you know. Yeah, basically that's pretty much it on the fairings though. Oh yeah, fairings are, you know, easier to texture now. There was a new update on that. Before the UV map was pretty weird and crappy. So now it's pretty easy, so we're gonna see a lot more on texture for fairings in the next coming days when modders get their crap together with that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much for parts other than this other thing. The stack decouplers and the separators are all updated, and that's pretty much it though. Oh yeah, and a little bit of a update on how liquid fuel and xenon gas, oh no, actually RCS, I think maybe even liquid fuel now, I think it's pretty much the same, but xenon gas definitely got an update and RCS also got an update. They are more balanced now in preparation for the whole update for the game, for the, you know, the upcoming DLC. So yeah, let's see other things. I don't want to come back in here for now. You get this weird button out here, how to look. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's supposed to be basically if you build a ship, right, and then you realize, man, this really looks bad with the orange on there, right? With the orange tanks, you might say, right? Yeah, I hate it. You want to go back to the white, so white and black, I think. It's pretty much the only option you got here right now. But yeah, at some point all these are gonna get implemented, I think, with parts. So, you know, cool stuff. But anyway, you say, oh man, I really hate that orange, man, but I don't want to go through clicking everything back to white, right? Nah, you don't want to do that. So all you gotta do is go to this button here, you click it, and then you click this little button right here. It's a little small. You don't click the big one because the big one doesn't do anything. You gotta click this little one, and it says apply to current vessel, and you click it. Boom, everything just goes to complete, you know, the complete texture you want for the whole ship. The whole ship just changes back to that. Very cool. So you can change it back to the orange, right? Change it back to gray orange if you could, you know, white maybe, if you could, you know. There's gonna be other options as the game goes on, I think. But yeah, that's pretty much on the end of that, I think. So yeah, let's go ahead and launch this thing and listen to all the engine noises. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than that, in the editor, I think got going over all that stuff. Let's look at the crew again. New suits are coming out in the DLC. Again, we'll go over all that stuff when that thing comes out, though. It's gonna be in a week. So we'll see. Don't worry too much about it, though. I'm ready for that one. I'm not gonna be a noob. And forget about it. I mean, I didn't forget about this. It just came out. But let's go ahead and launch this thing. And listen to all the new engine noises. So, a big complaint that I had in the past was that the engine noises were pretty crappy. And, you know, they sound like boiling water. I mentioned this in the last update. They sound like boiling water. They really did. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. So, and you know, also another thing, the camera is completely it's a lot more free. You can move it around a lot more, which is surprising to me. I wasn't expecting that. Can do this, in fact. Weird, isn't it? It's weird, but it's a little bit more free. You can get more sights, different views of different things. It's kind of strange, I guess. It's a little glitchy, but you know, it works. It works. You know, it's weird. It's weird, but anyway, let's get into the engine noises. It might be a glitch. It might be fixed later on. First things first, the kickback solid fuel rocket. I'm gonna make sure you can hear it. I'm gonna increase the sound, not too much so you don't get hurt, but you know what I mean. And actually, let's get this thing off in the right position here. Make sure it doesn't completely break everything once I do it. So there we go. Activate engine. So as you can see, it sounds a little bit meaner, a little bit more growly as an engine, right? It does. So not the biggest change there, but it's different. It no longer sounds like boiling water to me. Like, even one time my dad came into my room and I was playing the game back like 2 years ago, and he said, "Sounds like you're boiling something." And you're like, "Nah, it's just the freaking engines in my rocket that I'm launching." I had a crappy computer, so it was pretty laggy, so the launches were pretty long. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and activate the other one because it's pretty much similar. This one sounds a little bit meaner. I'm gonna go ahead and deploy this one so this one goes away, so you can hear this one a little bit better. It's a little bit meaner. The particles are a little bit different. I don't know if they're completely different, but they have a little bit of a little juice onto them, you know, like popcorns flying off and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's a little bit different. But anyway, let's go ahead and get rid of this one. A couple. It's gonna fly off into wherever. I don't know. Probably the Iceland over there or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, let's get into the main attraction here, which is the main liquid fuel tanks, which was basically the big thing you use. So anyway, I added a little bit of a stack decoupler here and a stack separator for you to see. I didn't include all of them because I'm pretty sure once you see one, you can see all of them at that point. So go ahead and deploy them here. Stack decouplers, you get a little bit of an animation, a little gas flying off. Really cool stuff, nonetheless. So, and there goes a little booster over there. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, let's activate these engines now. First things first, the Terrier engine. You can see it's a low growl, lower, slower noise for a smaller engine. Something that was missing from the game. The freaking mainsail was the same. Wow, you saw that? That was a big explosion. The mainsail noise that the mainsail made was the same as the Terrier. Surprisingly, and, you know, it's a little tiny engine against a massive engine. So yeah, and you get a little sonic boom when you turn it off. I think that's probably a little bit, flipped around. I think when you activate it, you should get the sonic boom because, you know, the gases are flying out faster than the speed of sound. But, you know, I think they messed that one up, but I don't know. Maybe they meant it. So let's look at the next engine. The Kerbal. Activate it. It's a little bit of a harder, a deeper growl, a little bit, you know. It's not the best again, but also look at this. Something I didn't notice before. That wasn't here. The particles look so good. Like, look at that. Do you remember them looking this great? Do you? I don't remember them looking this great. Like, they look amazing to me, at least. They're not the best, but they're better than what they looked there before, you know. You still should probably install hot rockets, but look at that. They have, like, the lower you go, the lower the flame goes. Pretty cool, ain't it? Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and try one of the big ones here. The mainsail. Activate engine. Yeah, like even a deeper growl, right? Even a deeper growl. you know, pretty cool stuff though. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool new noises. It's an update. It's a big update. Let's try this one activate here. The nuclear engine, same as the Terrier over there. Poodle. Same noise. A little bit deeper, I think. Tiny bit. Kerbal, the big rhino. It's like really, really deep. It's like even deeper than the mainsail. Pretty cool stuff. And the one that I'm a little bit disappointed with. You know, it wasn't a big update, but it's notice a little bit of a difference, but nothing too special. The Mammoth didn't really get anything done with it. It's still the same thing. But here though, it's the opposite. See, this is what I mean. This is what I mean with that. The sonic boom happens when you activate it, not when you deactivate it. Everything else, I think, happens when you deactivate it. So it's weird. It's weird. I think it's just a mistake they made, but we'll see. But yeah, big engine. And then the last one, just for sakes of doing it, the jet engine. This is the coolest one, I think. It actually sounds like a jet engine to me. I don't know. You get the whole thing when it's going fast, and you get the whole thing when it's going slower. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. The particles here also look a little bit better, I think. Nothing too special, but they do look a little bit tiny bit. Tiny bit. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Other than this thing slowing down, you know, it's also a thing. The little sound effects of it shutting down, you know. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I wasn't expecting this to come out, and I wasn't expecting them to put this much free stuff into it. You know, I mean, there's still a lot. Most of it is still, you know, still part of the DLC you're gonna have to pay for. But you know, it's something, right? It's something. We're gonna have to wait till next week, though. I'm gonna have to pay my money out of it. You know, use money to pay for it, and you know, play it, and then I'll probably do a little review, and then I'll do my opinion video where I tell you whether you should buy it or not. And we'll see. But for now, let's see if this thing can actually fly, right? You might think it won't, but I'll show you. Well, actually, I'm missing one thing I need to show you. This. See, RCS. The capsule has RCS. This is the first time in the Kerbal game that a single capsule, has RCS already installed on it. So if you forget to have RCS, maybe you forgot to dock or something, you have something that will help you do it with, you know? It's not the best, but it will do what it needs to be done, though. You don't have any forward thrust or any backwards thrust, but it will do what it needs to do. And you also don't have... Oh, you do. But, you know. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, guys. Final thing we're going to do, we're going to launch this thing, see if it actually can fly. We used it a little bit here, so it may not be able to fly, but the fuel balances are a little bit messed. Oh, and I also forgot this one. It's a little bit meaner, too. It's kind of like the mainsail. Bit meaner, be meaner. Nothing too special again, but it's something. So anyway, full thrust and launch. Let's see where this thing goes. So it's actually flying, as you can see. You might not expect it. It actually flies. Pretty cool. And you know what? Even though it looks pretty scary for a Kerbal, so the situation might be completely crazy in there in his capsule. But you know what? He has a shot to live if I can get this right. Come on. There you go. Oh, there's 3 Kerbals in there. Well, we gotta pick one that's gonna live, right? Who wants to live? I'm pretty sure Bill's the one that's pretty much more scared than the other crew. So maybe Bill gets to evac, you know? Let's see what button was the thing that deploys the chute. I'm not sure which one is G. I'm not sure which button it is, but I pressed the button and it deployed. But anyway, actually we had a chute over there. Wait a minute. Oh no, we don't. We don't have a chute. Okay, well they're gonna die. I think they're going head down first, so they might die. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're dead. But Bill survived. He was the only one that managed to escape. Everyone else is now dead. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for now. I think I went over everything. You guys might find a little thing I missed, but you know, I think I went over everything. Remember, DLC's coming out next week, so come back. Remember to subscribe to get more news on that. I'll give you a review. I'll pay for it myself, so don't worry. Yeah, I'm a small channel, so even if I didn't want to pay for it myself, I couldn't. But I'll pay for it myself. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'll give you a full-on review, my opinion. I'll go over everything, and you'll see what's up and what's down. And other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Just remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share so that people get to see this video and get to learn what happened, how this whole thing developed. And remember, the news channel is still on, so we might get a little bit of news in the next week or so. And other than that, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Good. Bye.